It's tabletop time!
I'm Lachlan, and this is Jen, player of occasionally incredibly frustrating characters.
And I'm
favourite.
Alicia.
And I'm
Oh, I
Dave.
thought you
Oh,
were-
sorry, Alicia, were you...
I
gonna
thought you were
speak?
gonna.
but-
I thought you were
okay, sorry,
introducing
who were you
yourself.
playing?
Astrid.
I'm the narrator of this one.
Okay, I'm
So-
a Nord.
So if people are wondering how the last two have opened like that, we roll a dice to see who introduces themselves first, and if you tie, you have to talk over each other. It's a very annoying thing, but just by pure chance, we've been rolling
happened
lots of
twice.
ties.
Yeah. Right.
So we are playing Skyrim because you've joined this, but hey, guess what? We're starting on Solstheim, and players of Skyrim will be aware of Solstheim. It's a little island
I actually
east of
I haven't
Skyrim.
been there yet, so it's all been new to me.
Okay,
I
well,
went there once in my
why don't you guys introduce your characters? These are fresh characters. Tell us, let's start with Jen.
Oh yeah. I am playing a Khajiit named Azahari. I look like Grumpy Cat essentially, and I am a thief and I steal things. I have a disabling characteristic that is kleptomania, so I steal things when I probably shouldn't. Very adventurous, very mean, but am still with my companions and I'm starting to get to know them a bit better. And
Oh, you know
sort
them
of-
well now.
Yeah,
You know
we're,
them well.
I think we've got a team.
It's been months.
Yeah, it's been months.
It's been months.
There you go.
Yeah,
And we
3
haven't
months.
killed each other
We
yet.
haven't
You haven't killed each other. I'm going to say that. Can I have that destiny dice? My destiny dice has been taken off me because I keep rolling
Just
really
like
badly.
confiscated.
Yeah, that's about what I thought with the two. The three of you have been bound together by what I'm going to call a mutual fate of incompetence. So effectively what has happened is by virtue of bad luck more than good luck, you consistently find that you end up with each other. Like one of you maybe tried to break away with a different group of smugglers and then like embarrassed themselves so badly that they can't hang out with them anymore. And you've all tried to branch out and do your own, and you just all end up in the mire together again. You're like the bad batch of people that no one else wants to hang out with, and you all just seem to work well together.
And that's why we ended up in Solstheim, because we're just like,
So, Astrid.
Yes, I am Astrid. I'm a Nord. I'm imagining that I look like Lagertha from Vikings, just because she's really cool. I'm a shield maiden, and I've got cool ice magic that I can use once a day.
Cool.
Yeah, that's me.
I am Ferdinand. I am a Breton. Got a sword. I've got a bit of illusion magic. I like to write songs. I like to sing songs. And I'm under a mild delusion that the god Geoffrey, who is one of the elven gods, so most of you Imperials won't know them, who is the god of music, and sent me on a mission to basically embody the entirety of the world that he has created in song.
And you've been doing terribly at it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call
Over
it.
the course of
offending
like
a
3
few.
months, Ferdinand has continually. So I'm going to interject here that Ferdinand, I feel from the 5 episodes we've experienced with him, is a chronic case of the like I'm an author, but then never writes. So you're kind of like the I'm a minstrel, but like you forget to sing, you forget to be a minstrel. So it's not that you can't do it. It's just that like it's been like I'm a minstrel. I've been in this bar for 3 nights and I have forgotten that to sing. You just like forget to do it.
Well, it's in progress. I'm not going to start showing off until it's finished.
Classic. 15 years later.
15 years later,
Yeah.
I finally got all around all of Tamriel, and then I start to put it together, and someone's like, "What about Akavir?"
So I just imagine you put it together and someone's like, it's shallow and pedantic, and then like I hate it, and then you're like, my life's work.
Or like if anyone's seen The Good Place, like my life's work. It's like, yeah, no. It's
You're just traumatized from when you
your life's
offended all
work is
those.
trash.
So all of you, full health, full destiny points,
Woo.
Woo!
and 2 skill points to spend,
Two skill points to spend.
and 500 gold.
And 500 gold.
Oh, Asahari likes this.
You can add 500 gold
Thank
to you. You don't have to change your gold to
Thank
500.
you.
2 skill points.
Oh man.
I'm not going to do swim because I feel like we've
Oh,
had quite a
wait,
bit of
I
swimming.
could.
Surely we cannot
I
do
apply
any more
swim.
swimming.
Well, swimming is very important in the Elder Scrolls. It's not like GTA where you step in the water and just die in the first in GTA Vice City and stuff. You like touch a foot of water and just character like you drowned instantly.
Wasted.
I still have 4 dice in swim. I'm sure it'll be fine.
I think.
I would like to be better at illusion and talking to people.
Cool.
I'm gonna do.
What's your illusion at now?
7.
I see you got 3 in it.
3 in it because 1,
Yeah.
2, 3.
That's fine. Just finding out what it was. I'm surprised you didn't go for a new school of magic. Like, screw the illusion. Is that alteration?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait, alteration or restoration?
All right. So,
Yeah.
Can I steal someone's eraser? Yeah, mine's
we
like
can
that.
Hold on.
fiddle with thy stats as we continue,
Thank you.
but we'll commence playing, and you can adjust stats as we keep playing. So, we open our tale once again on a rickety boat heading north. You've been ordered to go to Skyrim. Trade with the Telvanni has been blooming, and the smuggling operation has been getting stronger and stronger. The Imperial grip on the mainland has been getting weaker as cultists have been rising in areas, and there is rumor of the proclaimed Neverine restoring, or Neverine, I don't know how it's said.
Nerevarine.
Nerevarine. The Nerevarine.
The reincarnation of
The
Nerevar.
guy who is cool, the prophesized dude,
That guy.
the famous prophesized dude, supposedly might be returning, but a lot of people, especially temple advocates of the temple, believe that this is nonsense, and there is currently a whole lot of uproar, a whole lot of weird stuff happening in the nation. The curse of blight is spreading and getting worse. So, you're on a boat heading north. Your task is to go to the island of Solstheim from Morrowind. And from Solstheim, Astrid has been tasked to lead this expedition as she, a Nord, has contacts, or at least has understanding of Skyrim. You're to go to Solstheim and meet up with... Scrolls down. You are to go to Skyrim and meet up with... Solstheim.
Yeah,
to
sorry.
meet up with Palakator Sigorman, who is a miner operating out of the Raven Rock mine. He has plans to add a new resource of ebony to the ever-growing smuggling operation, and to be fencing it through Skyrim with its weakened or slightly lesser Imperial control. It's a bit of a wilderness. The Nords keep Skyrim quite free, despite the fact there's Imperial garrisons there and is part of the Empire. It's generally considered to be one of the less policed areas in all of Tamriel. And yeah, basically they want to start fencing Skyrim from ebony from Morrowind and Solstheim, and illegally skimming some and selling it through to Skyrim.
Cool.
And if that is successful, and Astrid manages to achieve this, she has been offered the position of basically running a chapter house and expanding the smuggling operation, and
Hell
and
yeah.
basically being the chief of the base that will be in Skyrim.
Cool.
Amazing.
Assuming that we two don't fuck it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please.
So-
for the love of God.
Which one?
Sorry, did you have more to say?
No.
I was going to briefly mention that Azahari has lost all of her armor.
And you've bought new armor by now,
Cool.
if you want to have. Did you buy
Yes.
something special?
Is there anything special available that...
You've had months.
What will 610 drakes buy me?
What are you after?
I'd probably go with braces, and I can't wear
Just
shoes.
light armor?
Yep.
You can get some mid-tier light armor, like chitin armor, a full set of that.
Sure. For exactly that much, or...
Some amount. I'll work it out.
Okay.
I'll come back to you on that.
All right. Yep, no worries.
All right. So you're on a boat.
On a boat.
Can you only have 4 skills under a vocation?
Yes.
So I can't pick up a new school of magic? 2 new schools of magic?
Nope. That would be multi-classing into another vocation. So then you'd need to become like a sorcerer bard.
That's annoying. Alteration it is. I was going to split between alteration and restoration.
It's like a deliberate mechanic to to limit the amount of skill points people can get.
You still have a limited amount of skill points.
All right. So, do we have anything to say on our boat ride?
Yes. Oh, why did we have to take another boat?
I'm going to say you have 2 armor, by the way. If you have a full set, it will cost you... Actually, is it going to be netch leather? I think netch leather's better.
Sure.
Yeah, netch leather is better. It's going to cost you about 200.
Okay.
I hate boats. It's just over the sea, just like... It's not good.
How else do you expect to travel?
Fly?
Okay. Pay up.
Levitate. No, I'm not going to start expending my mana, my magicka this early.
Why don't you sing a song?
Fine, I shall continue working on my masterpiece.
I shall repeatedly beat my head across the boat.
So, where we last left off, we arrived at an Isle of Arden, fell with no subjoined name, we heard a tale of John to the north, and so on our way. A pair of crabs did try to eat us alive, and bandits did try to rob us blind. We slayed the beasts and robbed the brutes, and finally we arrived.
And as your second verse is going, I rolled a 2 on the Destiny. A Nord on the boat says, Solstheim's dangerous enough without us wanting to throw ourselves off the boat before we get there, minstrel.
I'm sorry, I haven't learned any of your Nordic battle hymns by heart. There was something about Ragnar, I don't know. Rorikstead? I've never been to Skyrim yet, it's the next on my list.
He just grumbles. And you're close. The shore, a castle,
Everyone's
comes into view as your ship is taken and you arrive in Fort Frostmoth, which is to the south of Solstheim. It's a short distance from the town, the old town that you're going to, which is the Raven Rock Mine and small mining village. Yes, you arrive at Fort Frostmoth. There is a large imperial fort looming over you as the ship pulls in. Ropes are thrown over and tied up. And yes, you are now on... the winter's air blasts against you and it chills the 2 of you to the bone. And it feels like home, Astrid. In fact, a little more temperate than home. Solstheim's not quite as cold as Skyrim is.
Especially not the south part. I would like to rush off the boat so that I can rapidly do my best to adjust to not falling over, because I don't do long boat travel very well. Like, from place to place in Morrowind was
Make an
fine.
endurance check.
One
Yeah,
success.
you
that
are
sounds
quite
accurate.
nauseous and struggling to, like, stay.
Is this dock moving or is it just me? It's me, isn't it?
Azahari is freezing.
You have fur.
I come from a place full of sand and warmth.
No, you've got a point. You've got a point.
I'm still a bit warm actually, and I take my jumper off.
Are you serious?
From Western Australia or something?
You must have very thick skin.
I'm used to it. I'm used to it.
Welcome to Solstheim.
Hello.
An Imperial Guard is standing before you. By what right do you charter this vessel here? Have you come to work at the mines? Perhaps sign up with the Legion and push back the frontiers of this wild place? He seems to take his job very seriously.
Yeah. Damn. Sorry, just to clarify, where are we transporting the ebony?
No, you're going to go and meet with the miner to work out how the hell that's going to work.
Okay. Then I would say, yeah, we're here to work in the mines. Yeah.
To Raven Rock, then. Will you be traveling by land? There are no ships available.
I look over at Fed.
I do too.
Land sounds good.
I think land.
Is there a place we can resupply before traveling?
At Fort Frostmoth, right behind me. That's what it's here for.
Great.
A bastion of imperial stability in this otherwise hostile place.
Sounds exhilarating.
So, if you travel to Raven Rock, be careful. There are no safe roads here. In fact, ever since the moon turned red or started displaying itself as such, things have been rather heated on the island.
Can I make a general knowledge check to see if I know anything about red moons?
Yeah, sure.
I mean, I'm somewhat knowledgeable about divinity and whatever Daedra are. Challenge level.
yeah.
3 might be. It's probably pretty high.
I mean, 3 is
It's unusual.
inkling?
It's very specific knowledge about a particular subset and a prophecy. Like, it's not really.
Another prophecy?
Yeah, there's a lot
haven't
of prophecy
finished.
in Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, well, I mean, Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, so it's related to the Blood Moon prophecy, but you're not
I'm
familiar,
not familiar with it.
No.
So I'm just like, red moon.
Yes, rather dramatic, if you ask me.
That sounds terrifying.
Right. Well, if you're afraid of the moon, you won't
Not-
do very well on
Not
Solstheim.
debilitatingly frightening, just like unusual in a really bad way. Like, what on earth could that mean?
Perhaps the gods wished for a change to Mundus. Anyway,
That makes
there
sense.
are more people to greet. More doldrum for my day.
Hey, maybe we get to kill something soon. I have faith.
I'd rather not.
Then what would you like to do? You seem bored reading people.
Well, reading, yes, that would be pleasant. A nice book and a hot fire. At least there I can escape into fantasy worlds that aren't as boring and mundane as this earth we're cursed to be on.
Does he kind of gesture for us to, like, he's happy for us to pass?
He's just, yeah, you can pass.
Sail
Right.
straight through.
Boring. Suppose here.
Good
will
luck and Khajiit.
I turn around.
Careful, your pads, your foot pads. I imagine the ice will stick and pull. I would avoid patches of ice if I were you. It would not be comfortable for your tender toe beans.
I give him a little nod and then keep walking into the fort.
He turns and greets the next person.
Hi, tender Toby.
If only you could wear shoes.
Well, I'm thinking sure you can
I
find.
fashion something. Anyway.
You might be able to.
Sure.
So, where are you headed? Are you heading into the fort?
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to look for 2 things. One, I want to look for a cloak.
Mm-hmm.
And 2, something that I can turn into shoes or protect my feet.
I'd like to look for a potion of Restore Magicka, or even better, an enchanted item of Restore Magicka, because that is reusable.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
I don't think
potion
so.
uses.
I've been playing for like
Actually,
60 hours.
there
I've
is-
never seen a restore. There's no restore magicka effect,
Yeah, well, only in alchemy there is no
Yeah.
spell version, which
Exactly.
is
So you-
really stupid.
or it's deliberate.
Of course it is. I mean, just constant Restore Magicka would be like.
Yeah. What
So-
did,
Yeah,
happen,
what's the scroll?
what did happen to the scroll?
Your scroll.
It's an
I'm
Elder
guessing
scroll
how
you
good
went
it is.
blind.
We opened it in the boat
two.
ride.
You have a scroll of invisibility for 60 seconds.
Hell yeah.
Oh, sweet. I think
I
we
don't
gave
tell
that to you.
anyone about it.
Okay, then you tell no one about it, but it's fine. I can make people invisible. I don't need no stinking scroll.
You
What about potions or restore magic?
there is basically nothing in Fort Frostmoth available for you to like purchase. But you were directed to the armory as the only place with any kind of merchantry. Cool. And you head there.
We walk into the armory.
And a man with a sort of Doctor Strange style facial hair and a mullet is standing there, and he looks at you. Weapons or armor?
No potions?
This is a blacksmith, so no.
Yeah.
Just weapons
good.
or armor. There's more shops in the town.
What swords do you have?
I've got some silver, some iron, some steel.
How much for... Does the silver sword look especially fancy?
No. It's just a plain silver short sword.
Damn it. Is silver better than what I have?
It's about the same in terms of damage, but it's made of silver, which may or may not be relevant.
I mean, I know the answer to that question. He doesn't know the answer to that question. And if it's not fancy and it's not better than what I have, why would I buy it?
Okay.
How far away is the town?
Just a couple of hours walk. Solstheim's not massive.
I lift up my foot and say, "Do you have something for my toe beans?
What?
Feet.
Toe beans.
Feet." Pause.
I could use them. And he grumbles around, finds some patches of leather and a strap, and he's like, he just throws it towards you. No, it's literally like a square of leather and a little strap that tightens with the little buckle.
Basically,
Okay.
And he's like, chuck me a coin and you can have these rough fashion.
And a cloak?
I've got no cloaks, eh?
I toss him a coin.
Cool.
I put my little
pay
shoesies
one
on.
coin for your little leather pads for your pads. And yeah, Fort Frostmoth, if you want to buy things, is not the place to be, but there's plenty of people here. It's an imperial fort.
Is there a torch by any chance? Like, be ones hanging on walls and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Torch? What do you need that for?
Cool.
You have good
Okay.
night vision as a Khajiit.
Warmth is the only thing I'm
Oh,
thinking
right.
of.
That's fair. That's
Yeah,
a good
actually,
thing.
that makes sense.
I asked
That
him,
picked alteration.
do you have any torches?
No.
Okay.
He's not very helpful.
No, that's fine.
All right. So,
As we're walking out of town, or when we go to walk out of town, I want to keep my eye open. If I feel like I can take one, I want to try and take one.
make a sleight of hand check. Challenge level 3. There's a lot of guards.
On the other hand, are there any just bits of wood lying around, like branches?
Not. There will be in the forest that you're about to walk through. Yeah, you can pinch a torch without
Right.
someone noticing.
Yep, I take one.
Okay, a lit torch, and you head. You get to sort of the exit. Do you leave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
You have no idea where
I
you're
will-
going because
I will
no one's told you.
grab a guard
gosh.
as we go to
Yep.
leave and go, 2 questions, my dear good fellow.
Yes.
Um,
I'm not accustomed to being called fellow, but it'll
I mean it
do.
as a compliment. We're looking to get to Raven Rock.
Yes.
Could you give us directions? And is there anything terribly important that we should know before we leave? You know, like, don't look at the yellow fungus too hard. I don't know. Things get weird in places. I've not been here before.
Watch out for bears, and if a Reichling horde descends, well, pray to the gods, I guess.
Yeah, I'm sure Trophy will keep me safe. How else am I supposed to document everything?
Right. So, pretty much follow the coast to the west, and you'll arrive at Raven Rock.
Bears.
There's no boats until tomorrow, I think, heading there, but it'll be much quicker by land, unless you can find somewhere to bunk for the night. Though the Imperial Fort is not typically welcoming of non-Imperials.
That's fair enough.
I don't mean that in the racial sense, of course. I
No,
mean
it's-
members of the Imperial Legion.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yes.
it's an army thing. I understand. What's a Reichling?
A Reichling, a disgusting little blue goblinoid.
But Breton, do I know what goblins are? Because I think they're somewhat
Yeah,
common,
you know, you're
everywhere,
familiar.
but like...
Oh, general knowledge. Go for it. They're not in Morrowind.
No. but they're also not in Skyrim. But that could be just because they weren't there, but it doesn't mean that they weren't there.
They're in Oblivion, though, I think.
They are 2.
2, yeah. You've travelled enough. You're aware of goblins. They're nasty, little, vicious, aggressive monsters.
Goblins are not quite a people.
No.
Well, good to know.
Could we ask where the nearest town is?
Yeah, Raven Rock is the only town.
It's the only town. Okay.
Oh, wow.
That we know
General
of.
knowledge, Astrid.
All right.
You're the only one that get this.
You are the only one that can get this, and it's still going to be a 3 because it's pretty specific
I
knowledge.
looked at a map. That's my knowledge of Solstheim, pretty much.
3 successes. You know that there is a Nord village called the Skarl village to the north of the island that is exclusively Nord.
Okay.
That's like much further.
Yeah. A lot further.
My Tobies.
But likely to be extremely welcoming to you and very hostile to other rule.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind.
Cool.
Could we get there, before nightfall?
Probably not to Skarl village because it's like halfway through the day. But
I
you
meant
could...
to
Oh, Raven Rock. It's only an hour or 2 away.
Okay.
Excellent. I will draw my sword as we leave the fort, tip my head to this fine fellow,
Yep.
Yeah.
and on our way.
No worries.
I'm sure nothing.
I'm
can go.
quite eager for my potential promotion, so I'm gonna
I
rush
can't
everyone.
blame you. I just hope that we don't get left as rookies.
All right. So you start heading across up to Raven Rock. Who's leading? Make a survival check.
I'll lead.
Just hoping that it was a fancy sword.
Oof. What could pass as a road quickly disintegrates into wilderness as you enter the forest, the forested areas of southern Solstheim and march sort of through the cold. It's not covered in snow, it's just bitter tundra. So there's still greenery, grass, trees, everything. And as you head, you travel about 20 minutes, half an hour.
I would like to note that I would like to find large sticks and attempt to light them off Azahari's torch so that we have backups that are currently burning.
Doesn't really work because they're not actually treated
Right.
to be a torch. It's not about them being...
Like, I know that, but it's like... It's
You can have some
something.
sticks, yeah.
Yeah, I would like to collect some sticks to be lit in case of emergency.
Cool.
Like if the other one torch starts dying, because I don't have oil and cloth to spare.
Right. Yep. So you're trying to bundle up some twigs. No worries. That's fine. Half an hour or so travel. And I'm going to get perception check from Astrid specifically.
All right. Good, because that's where I added my extra skill point.
Ah,
Nice.
Nice.
3 successes.
Hey.
That's
Pretty
enough.
good.
You realize pretty quickly that you've stumbled too far west and you're not quite on the path, but you manage to sort of get up to a ridge and spot. You're about the halfway point. You kind of see where the coast bends around. You see in the distance some smoke and stuff. So you get your bearings and recognize where you're supposed to go. And as you turn around, you realize the ridge that you're on, the gentle mound, is vaguely familiar to you in design. And as you look around a little bit closer, you see half buried in rock, Nordic runes. And you realize that you're standing on a barrow. Which is a place where the Nords entomb their dead.
Right.
Nostalgia.
And often there's stuff in them. Not always, but sometimes.
Okay.
How you morally feel about looting from the dead is up to Astrid, but they do often inter the dead with grave goods.
What else would you know about what they do with the dead?
Enough to know that sometimes the dead don't like their grave goods being disturbed,
Okay.
but not always. It's a
I'm
sometimes
Strong,
thing.
strong lady. What is this place?
Sometimes food.
Skyrim is a game.
So
If the world was actually like the game 100%, the world wouldn't function.
You know,
Like most
you're not
video
wrong.
games.
So I'm quite honourable. I would respect these graves.
Okay.
But-
You're the most honorable
Yeah.
illegal smuggler.
Hey,
But
hey.
also I'm just like looking at the runes and I'm sort of explaining what's going on, not realizing that.
All right.
Do you
That
tell us the truth, or do you tell us that like
Yeah. I'm not.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just like, these are the runes, and
You don't have to be dishonourable to be a smuggler. Like, if somebody
It's true.
bans necessary medication and you must smuggle that across, or makes it like prohibitively expensive and you smuggle it for cheap.
Or the delicious sugar that you just want to put on your Cocoa Pops in the morning.
Like, yeah, I can sort of understand that, but also like the fact that pretty much everybody that's not a Khajiit that doesn't have it in like any sort of moderation.
Yeah.
I assume there is a number of overdoses constantly.
so yeah, I tell them what it is, and I tell them like where we are, and probably not realizing that might pique Azahari's interest.
All right, so we're standing on a tomb.
Yes.
Can I see the entrance?
It's very buried, and there's some stuff. You can vaguely make out what might be an entrance, but in this instance, you're pretty much going to need Astrid's guidance on what is what and where.
Okay. I won't venture in because Azahari is probably more concerned at how fucking cold it is as well. So
It's definitely because it's cut into the land and it's like a hill. It is a windbreak. As you're down here near like the ruins and stuff, it's like comfortingly warmer.
That Destiny roll was a 12, and it was to see just how much she wanted to go in there. So 12 is like she wants to go in, but if she needs someone's help, it's not worth the trouble, and she's very cold and would like to go somewhere warm.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, if we stumble upon a rival group of dodgy people in a barrows.
My favourite.
But, I don't think venturing into every hole in a hillside is a good way to get what we need doing done.
Yes.
Sure.
We should get to Raven Rock as soon as possible.
I mean, it's kind of
'Cause
cold.
I'm very keen for this promotion.
You journey down the hill, and the rest of the journey is easy now that you've kind of crested the hill and come over to the other side, so you can see the descent back down and around to Raven Rock. And yeah, about another 40 minutes or so of navigating down the hillside. And where's that destiny roll?
sorry.
Let's see if you get bitten by something. You do not. With a 14, you manage to once or twice. There's a few things like wolves or some creatures. They're at the fringes of
Can I hiss at them?
the area, and with a hiss from Azahari and a gentle steer in the right direction from Astrid, who is more familiar with these kinds of creatures and knows how to deal with them more than anything that any of you knew how to deal with on Morrowind, because a lot of them are also on Skyrim. You manage to navigate your way down into the town, Raven Rock. And Raven Rock is a fairly small, mostly wooden, wood-buildinged sort of mining village. There's a large mine nearby, which covers off pretty much all that's there at this stage of history. It's just like wooden houses. Yeah.
Cool.
You sort of get in, it's mid-afternoon. There's torches burning, if only because of the low temperature. But there's maybe... There's a small wall, because the wilderness is harsh, like a small stone wall and wooden buildings and one watchtower.
Right. Do we see any shop signs, or is it just like all unmarked buildings?
In Raven Rock,
Which I
there
have
are a
never been
few.
to.
There are a few things. There's a few things. There's a blacksmith, and then there's an East Empire Company office, which has some services. And there's also a publican, it's like a tavern, pub, room, inns, beds to sleep in, who sells like a bit of food and drink.
I would like to first go, probably walk past the blacksmith, just take a peek, see if there's anything interesting there. Like, I like my sword, but if I see a better sword...
There's a guy who's, there is a blacksmith. Would you like to go into the blacksmith?
You were looking for...
there's
Maybe
a-
I've got a cloak.
Sure.
There's a blacksmith, and there's also a general goods store as well that I didn't mention.
I'll go to the blacksmith general goods store and then see if the traders have anything they can buy wholesale. Because I assume we know what the East Empire Company is. I feel like it's something like, oh, you're in the Empire, you know what it is.
Oh, actually, there's no smithy. Whoops. Sorry. There's only a trader.
General
Okay.
goods store it is.
I didn't want that continuity error. The smithy gets built during the duration of the Nevereen's quests. You build the smithy in the game, which I haven't been playing Blood Moon recently. It's been like 15 years
just
since I played
started
it. Yeah. So, there's only the general goods store, and you meet a man named Sathan, who is a Dunmar, who is in the store. Greetings. What can I do for you? We don't get many visitors here to Raven Rock.
Well, first of all, do you have cloaks for, protection from the weather?
Yes, of course.
Azari?
How much?
We have a cheap one that'll keep you warm until it gets wet through for 10 drakes, and a fine quality one for 80.
Does the fine quality one look pretty schmick?
It's
or...
yes, it's a fancy cloak. It's an upper class sort of
Azahari
clothes.
hasn't had this much gold before, so she's going to take the opportunity and buy something a bit special for
Okay,
herself.
you buy a fancy
80
cloak, 80 gold. And it's a nice cloak. It's it's got different patterns to it and nice trim and lining, and it seems like it's waterproofed with some kind of wax or chemical on the outside.
Do you have any potions of for magicka or?
Yes, I do.
Oh, I would be interested in looking at one of those. Or
Right. Yes, that will be. Let me see. 15 gold.
for just a basic one?
Cheap. It's a cheap one.
Is that the only one that he's got?
Or a bargain one, which I didn't even want to bother offering you.
Which is even worse.
Yeah.
I will spend 15 gold getting that. And is there anything armor or weapon-wise or something else that might catch my eye?
This silver equipment seems to be quite common,
What's with all this silver? I mean,
as well as expensive gear. There's a bunch of darts, arrows, throwing stuff. He actually has a bandolier, a quiver full of glass arrows from Morrowind, which is pretty cool.
man, if only I was an archer. What's with all this silver? I keep seeing silver everywhere.
Whoa. The Nords say it's good to have silver as it deals with some of the more horrible beasts that emerge, but we've seen no evidence of them. Supposedly monsters of claw and fur, but it's all
like to-
legend.
Can confirm that is what we said.
I kind of look
yeah.
really shifty in the corner.
Is this true? Should I pick up something made of silver? Or should I just be like, it'll be fine?
Is there anything that sort of piques my interest? Like any...
Silver axe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
A silver axe. He has a silver war axe, and he has silver longsword, and silver war sword, and silver claymore.
How much coins have you got? Because I imagine we would have gotten
We
paid.
got 500
We got the 500.
bonus, like an extra 500 on whatever you had.
Okay.
Yeah.
How much is the silver?
120.
Yeah, I would... Is that better than the axe that
It's
I've
the
got now?
same.
It's the same.
But it's
Damage,
silver.
right? It's not going to give you a different damage, but it's silver. So it's exactly the same, but the fact that it's silver may be relevant against certain enemies. It may not be relevant, but it certainly isn't any worse than your current equipment.
I'd like to have
It's
two,
like-
two axes.
You're just adding a bonus keyword onto your weapon is basically what it is.
Yeah.
All right, so you buy a
take
silver
that.
war axe, 120 drakes.
Fantastic.
I don't really see a point in like you've got silver, so if something does need silver, like this should be fine. Steel works.
Do you have any potions?
Yeah, yes. What do you want?
Health.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, not good at restoration. Maybe one day.
15 health. 15 health, 15 drakes.
For a stand. No,
Cheap.
cheap? Yeah, that's
He
fine.
only has cheap potions.
That's fine. I'll
What
buy
I
it.
would do for a life belt.
How many does he have?
He's got 4.
I might take one of those as well.
Cool.
Yeah, I'll buy one.
All these are going to do is restore a single minor injury.
That's fine.
They can't they can't reduce an injury. So if you get like a level 3 serious injury, it will not help.
Yeah.
But it will, if you just have taken a minor, you can just get rid of it immediately.
I will grab one as well.
Cool. And Azahari, roll Destiny. 15. Your tail tip grew back.
Oh, it's so fluffy.
Yeah, it's back to being. It was none worse the wear. You within a couple of days you
I like
went
to
to a
imagine
healer and
I-
made sure that it was
Yeah,
fine.
Yeah, it's important to me.
Cool.
All right.
Well, I don't think I see anything else of interest. There's nothing obviously glowing and
It's
shiny.
just like a trade store with useful frontier goods. There's no major amazing things.
All right.
Can I ask the trades guy? Do you know someone called Palicator?
Yes, he works in the mine. He should be there right now, in fact. Shift doesn't end for another few hours.
Fantastic, thank you. Shall we head off to the mine?
I think so.
Cool.
Let's go.
You head to the entrance of Raven Rock Mine, where an Imperial Guard stops you.
Yes.
There is also an East Empire Trading Company person with a bit of paperwork. The guard says, no entry to non-personnel of the company.
But we had a meeting with somebody in the mine. Should we just wait here for them to finish?
If you're friends of a miner, perhaps you should meet them at the tavern.
All right. When does the shift of mining end? We heard something about
Couple of hours.
couple of hours at the pub.
Who was it? I can let them know you're here.
Pelator?
Pelicator?
Palicator. Someone?
Pelicator Seagerman. Yes, that would be the one. I'll let him know. And the snivelly-nosed Empire man with his paperwork and his ridiculous adornment of jewels and rings and stuff heads inside.
Thank you kindly. Well, a few hours at the pub doesn't sound like a bad way to relax after a long walk in the freezing cold.
I could go for a few pints.
Yes.
So you'll head to go drink?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, you drink for a few hours. A few hours later, an Imperial man who's about 5'8". He's very
tall
fairly
for an Imperial?
short man.
Okay.
And,
Africanites get weird through time.
yeah, he comes in. He's sort of balding on top, but he's compensating for it by growing his hair like a lot longer at the back and pushing it forward. But you can see his hairline is quite raised. He has like this like extended fringe that ends in sort of almost a Breton bob, a little bit like that. He comes out. He looks like he's been working less hard than all the other miners who come out. Just slightly less dirty. And he says, good. And he joins you at your table.
Hey!
Wonderful. So you're Astrid, yes?
Yes.
Good. And Co.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're not important though.
If you say so. Astrid, I'll deal with you then.
Yes. I'm the leader of this group.
Excellent. So you know the arrangement?
Yes.
All right. So the plan is, and he leans in conspiratorially. I'm working these mines, and I have one or two companions who are not so happy with the rate of pay. Of course. So we're thinking of arranging smuggling so we can skim ebony finds off the top before they're sent off for refinement and get them taken north. And once there, we'll set up a little hole, I guess, a holdout. And once we have our holdout, well, we'll be able to use it as a base of operations.
Of course.
There's a Nordic barrow that I'm thinking could be good. Otherwise, rumor is this part of an old dwarven ruin. Either one could be suitable, but we need that place cleared out and set up. Once we have a place to drop our ebony, we can make a dock and start running ships discreetly.
Can I tell, like, infiltration wise, if his plan seems pretty like legit, or does it seem pretty awful, like this isn't gonna work, or it's kind of got A, B, and
Make
C
a
in
perception check.
Perception?
Yep.
I think this was less to see if he's above level, and we'll see if his plan was ironclad.
Make a
Still makes the
intelligence perception check. Which is just going to mean losing a dice, probably. 3
Three?
successes.
That's not bad.
It seems like a sound plan.
I know that I'm not important, but personally,
Salty.
I think that the barrow may be the better option because it may be less likely to draw treasure hunters and adventurers than
I'm more comfortable.
dwarven ruin.
It's
Nordic
up to
barrow.
you. I mean, I'm not going to pretend to be running the operation, but I'm organizing the people here. I just would say that there's pros and cons, I guess. I mean, Dwemer ruins or Dwarven ruins are well known to be quite warm. Other than that,
Well, I'm not fussed about the warmth. I don't know about you guys.
We will confer, I think.
Yes.
all right. So if you can clear up one of those places and get back to me, we'll start the operation.
Fantastic.
We, I imagine you'll be here for a few weeks, so I've arranged it so that you've got some beds down at Karak's house. Karak's a local Nord miner. He's one of ours. He's got a small shack. You can stay there, and while you function and operate,
All right.
you can set yourself up.
All right.
Cool. Excellent. And then there'll be supplies left for you to begin building the outpost as well. And then once that's set up, you can head west and continue on to Skyrim.
All right.
Fantastic.
Sounds good.
Wonderful. This is very cool. I feel very excited.
This is like the most exciting thing that's ever happened in This Guy's Life.
Yeah.
I've been mining in these mines. Mostly just I've never done a crime before.
Done an illegal now.
Drinking with real criminals. It's very cool.
Yes. This Nord stuff's interesting. Is this Nord? Do they serve Nord
Imperial.
made of this? Oh, it's
Imperial.
Okay.
Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, but you could probably make your exit look inconspicuous.
So the best way to do that would be to continue drinking with my new friends.
Exactly.
Yes, good. All right, and he continues drinking with you guys.
Sorry, was that Carax?
Karak was his name.
Was that
We were talking to Palector, and he told us to go to Karak's house.
Yeah, is that in?
It's in this town.
It's in this town. Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to.
So, once we get a minute to ourselves to confer, well, we've got
Yeah, he goes off to pee outside.
we've got two options. We've got the Nordic Barrow, which I'm not sure. Apparently, is not as warm. Possibly, we don't know the extent of this dwarven ruin. Possibly smaller. Probably less dangerous because what do I know about dwarven ruins? Do I know that they occasionally have?
General knowledge.
Yep, that sounds
Come on down.
Challenge level for Dwemer Ruins is
for a Breton.
2 for rumors, 3 for concrete stuff, 4 for detail.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, so you know that Dwemer Ruins often have active animunculi in them that can, more often than not, are hostile to outsiders. And you know that it perplexes people, but they all pretty much always seem to still be functioning. Like the actual ruins, the powered machines, the heat, the geothermal energy, or whatever it is.
Rumors of valuables.
Often, people you've smuggled Dwemer artifacts, and in the months that you've spent, you're well aware of the value of Dwemer artifacts.
Well, with the Dwemer ruins, there's also the possibility of Dwemer artifacts, but also defenses. So, do you want to take the greater risk for the greater reward?
Yes.
I know you do.
Yes.
And the warmth.
Yes.
Like, we don't have to go off. We can barricade it in, but we
Yes.
might have to deal with adventurers in the future.
There's potential reward in the barrows too.
Well, there's potential reward in the barrows as well, you know. You said they were buried with things, but
Yes, perhaps. Well, I'd rather respect the Nordic barriers, and then we can.
Well,
so maybe we'll go
that's
with the
two.
dwarven-
And honestly,
the Dwemer.
I mean, we're already smuggling Dwemer artifacts. Why not have another source? That'll look really good for the people
Yeah.
upstairs, won't it?
100. Yes, 100%. Razzie would
Let's
love
just
that.
hope that we don't find any excessive animiculi?
An animunculi or something.
Constructs.
Constructs is fine.
Yeah.
Animunculi. It's like homunculi, but
But-
with anim at the front.
Yeah. That is the plan. So we probably stay in town for a day or two,
It's
assuming
Nearing
nothing's just.
night, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I think we should probably stay in town for a day or two to not look maybe too suspicious, and to make sure that we know where we're going, so we don't just wander around in freezing cold. 'Cause that's not fun for anybody. Yeah.
Sure.
Yes.
So we would like
Cool.
to go to Karak.
You stay. Karak comes home drunk after you and passes out. Doesn't even say hi.
He was a Nord, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The morning comes. He's up and gone to work before you even rouse. And what would you like to do?
I would like
Head.
to. Is there a map in Ravens Rock of Solstheim?
No.
Shite. Do you have any idea where this dwarven? Did he give us a general
Yeah,
idea?
he said
of the
north
location?
up the coast. He said, or he will have told you, that it was near Thormore's Watch and Fitcald Peak, towards the glaciers of northern Solstheim on the west coast.
Few days travel by the looks of it. Sounds of it.
No,
Days
Solstheim's not that big. Maybe like 6 hours to 8.
All right. Should we make our way there?
Can I spend like a couple of minutes going around asking about the latest rumors?
Carousal.
Make a destiny roll.
Yeah, well, I sat down and found this thing. Ooh, wow, 17.
Okay, you meet a Dunmer. Latest rumors. I heard that the three great house, well, there's 6 houses, but I heard that
Three.
the houses have named a Hortator for the first time in, well, anyone's memory. Supposedly the one that's being called the Neverine.
Ah,
Neverine, that's the one.
that one. Right.
Crazy times.
Moon too.
You find another person. Latest rumors. Have you heard that the little goblin things, the Reiklings, have you heard that they ride pigs? I heard they ride pigs. My cousin Jan's sister's husband says that his mate was gored by one of their boars and then shot with an arrow.
Dear.
Anyway, we haven't seen him since.
Great.
Left her with the kids too. It's a
How-
shame he took a bunch of their money before he went out on that little scouting mission.
Cool. That's all I hear.
Yep.
Yeah, cool.
Did you find out anything interesting?
Not really.
All right.
I mean, unless you're asking more specifically than any rumors.
I guess
The moon?
along with that, I'd ask about the silver weapons, like the reason why they seem to be particularly fond of silver weapons.
Nord superstition is basically what you get.
All right.
Cool.
Cool. Yeah, I'm happy.
Did we see the red moon last night?
No.
So did we see the moon at all?
No, it was foggy. Very cloudy. You got a hint of red, but nothing confirmed.
Could have been anything. Could have just been the sunset.
It's not quite the blood moon. It's just coming.
Shall we away north then? Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Who's leading?
I'm.
Astrid.
Astrid survival check.
Yes.
That is a 4. A 3.
Hey, well done.
You head north, navigating across the coast fairly deftly. You avoid pitfalls, dangerous terrain, a bear or two. And after a few hours' travel, covering some hills and following the coast, you notice the terrain starts to get snowy. The grass disappears and is replaced with snow and canopies with snow in them, freshly fallen. And after journeying for some time, you're at a small area where a river comes in and meets it. An inlet meets some land. And you know that across that, because you were given vague directions, is a place called Thormore's Watch, which is one of the places you were told to head.
Yeah.
But, okay, make a perception check.
Everyone will just.
Astrid. 4 successes. In this terrain, your attention is piqued as you spot movement in the tree lines around you. And you see the small shape of little humanoids dashing between trees.
I like halt as a Hari and Ferdinand. I'm like, shh.
What is it?
I think it's the Reiklings.
Well, Perhaps we can get the sneak on them before they do on us.
Would I know if they?
You have a feeling they've already been, they're like tracking you and preparing to ambush you.
Can I call out? Can I be like,
Yeah.
show yourself?
All right, make a persuasion check.
Persuasion? Oh no.
Challenge level 1. Oh, there's no reply.
I'm so unpersuasive.
That's okay.
What are you doing?
I tell you guys, I'm like, ready your weapons.
I know I got attacked by crabs once. I have never walked anywhere in the wilderness without my sword out since.
Yeah, I get my
well,
shield
we
ready.
can do we want to fight or do we want to run? If we're near the ruin,
I'm quite happy to run.
to run?
There's a river between you and where you'd want to be running
Is it
to.
a frozen river?
No. You're not that north. You're at the, like, some snowfall is on
How
the
wide's
ground.
the
It's
river?
not, like, quite wide. Fairly significant river.
Is it swimmable?
Yeah, you can swim across it.
Yeah.
It's
Should I swim?
look, it's not ridiculous, but it's like the Murray River. Like, it's a decent
And
river.
I would like to cast water walking on everybody
Yeah.
when we are like at the bank. 'Cause
Okay.
It's not going to be a long duration.
As soon as you start to run, the entire hill, there's all these little screeches come up and little goblinoids burst from the hillside. At the head, 3 tusked boars are running down with like these goblins with swords held high, charging
rumor.
down the hill.
They weren't lying about those pigs.
All right, you need to make some spellcasting checks. I'm going to say it's level 3 to cast water walking. Water walking's a fairly level 2 to cast water walking with level 3 and 4, like 1 extra for each additional person you're casting it on. So you need a 4 to get everyone. What's your priority order of who you want to be affecting?
Well, I nearly drowned, so I hate to be selfish, but probably me.
Yep, and then
Then probably Azahari because of the cold.
yep.
And then
I see how it is.
You're using the cold and you're
I thought you'd be
resistant.
okay.
All
You're
right.
using the cold. You're resistant to the cold. Cold water is bad. 1, 2, 3. Am I rolling too many dice? No. One, two, three.
The spell takes hold
4.
on
I will spend a destiny point.
all
Thank you.
3 of you. Congratulations. And you spend some mana.
You're gonna leave me
Um, How many points of...
I have 2 points in alteration.
All right. How many points in magic do you have?
By magic, do you mean my vocation?
All of them. No, both. I'm just gonna. I think
combined?
this is probably gonna be a simpler way to just for this off the cuff.
4 points. 2 points in illusion, 2 points in
All right.
alteration.
I'm gonna say that's your mana pool. So you have 4 spells to cast. So you've cast 1, and you can restore 1 with a potion. So, I think that's probably just an easy way to track
Very
it
easy, but it
per
also
day.
extremely limits the use of spells.
But you restore them when you sleep, right?
Yeah, you
Or
restore them when you
Yeah,
rest.
but only when you rest.
That's fine.
Oh, you know what? I'll give you 1 more for intelligence.
Thank you.
So you have intelligence plus magic skills. So 5.
Yep, that sounds good. That's a nice
Do we have
quick
to-
haberdashery.
We're running. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
and
Yeah, you're
hands
running. All right,
walk on
athletics
water.
checks, all of you.
Athletics.
Swim check for Astrid.
No, I got.
Oh, you did get everyone
Destiny
with
points.
Destiny. My brain just deleted that information.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4, yep.
3.
3.
Okay, that's better than I was expecting.
1 for Astrid. Astrid's heavy armor starts to clunk and her feet are dragged behind in the cold and starting to pile snow. However,
I
Reiklings
cast-
have short legs.
Well, I cast the spell just as we're about to hit the water,
Yeah.
so that it.
Well, there's a few steps to go, sure. Her feet sink into the water a little
Oh.
bit. The short little bastards, despite their height, they're fast. But the boar ones,
They
the
kind of
boar,
meet each other.
they seem to be wildly riding these boars. In fact, with that poor result, 2, that's fine. So they're wildly riding these boars that seem like barely tamed. So it's not
Yeah.
so much that the boars aren't fast, but just that they're like veering and not taking the direct route, and the guys kind of have to corral them back into the direction. What was your athletics?
4.
You're a 4. Yeah.
4.
Good.
Cool.
I got 3.
The two of you sprint and make it halfway across the river in a single action. Astrid is slow. You're basically failing to do so. And
Wait for me.
as you get halfway across and these guys cross fully the water, a couple of spears are thrown towards you from behind. So I'm going to get you to make a combat check without any weapons. So
Okay.
just basically a base combat roll.
So that's
Okay.
3 plus attributes, so that's
Five.
5 dice.
Yeah.
No points in any of the skills either.
No.
Okay. Alright.
So 2 successes, and I'm going to roll a couple of javelin throws.
Oh, no.
So
Oh,
4.
dear.
You have armor.
So a level 2 victory on you.
Yeah, I've got
Negate.
3.
Okay, so you use 2 armor.
Yeah.
All right, so a javelin just like bends and buckles on some of Astrid's armor, and the
use my
second
shield,
spear
can
is a level 1 victory on you.
Oh, okay.
You have strength, but that would be used for the entire day, whereas you could reuse armor. How many points of armor do you have?
3.
I think you have a point of armor left.
Yeah, you do.
So,
Okay.
because we
Can
can
you use
reuse
the
that
armor?
next
Yeah,
combat.
can I
You
do that?
swing back your shield and deflect this javelin, and it scrapes across your shield, and then you stagger, run across the other side of the river. They're all shaking. A couple of javelins like throw but don't make the distance and splash into the water. There's the 3 of you are on the other side.
Everybody,
And the
all-
Reichling scream in anger.
we
They-
should keep.
They don't
Well,
try and cross the river.
we
They can't.
They can't. Okay, sweet.
They could swim, but they're not going to.
I'm going to help Astrid out of the water. Well, help her through.
Oh,
She's on top of. She's water walking.
Yeah.
She's just
Yeah.
slow.
I'm just, yeah.
All right.
Ooh,
Well,
that's close.
you're welcome. It's a handy trick.
I'm assuming you get some distance between you and the.
Oh yeah, we're
Reichling.
still walking
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
soon as Astrid's out,
Yeah.
because you gotta leave. 'Cause
Yeah.
we will get lost in front of a landmark. So we head
Alright,
towards
let's continue
the
on.
what's
You
the
head up to
name's
the mound.
watch.
And you head to the edge of the coast and look across, scanning your surroundings. Can I get you both, all 3 of you, to make perception checks? One success.
1, 2,
4?
3, 4, 5. No, 4. Yes, I can count. I know numbers. I swear.
2. As you look out upon the vast expanse, the winter wasteland, Azahari and Astrid, they spot nothing but the white of snow. Azahari sort of squints, sees a few shapes, but nothing much of interest. However, Ferdinand, keen on finding somewhere to get out of the cold, spots 2 things. One, closer by and on the coast, the mound of a Nordic barrow, complete with sort of stone entrance and runes. It's sort of built right on the coastline. You think that it wasn't originally, but that some coastal erosion has brought it closer and closer. And now it would pretty much, it's sort of, from your angle, you've had to go east and you're out on a peninsula that pushes out further than the rest of the island and looking back into the island into a bay. And in the bay, you see that there's this really discreetly sheltered barrow and a little bit of what is now effectively beach. It's not sand, but it's effectively a little rocky shoal shore. That would be a very good location to have a discreet smuggling base. Further north, you see a wall of ice, what looks to be a glacier. And recently, it looks like a glacier fall has peeled off, and you can see at sort of just above water level and bent at a sort of like 15 degrees off its axis, you can see a dwarven tunnel, like a built piece of dwarven ruin that is just sheared off where the ice has fallen away and just open to the wind and the world.
Well, I don't know what you two can see, but
There's steam rising out of it as well.
I can see 2 things from here. I can see what I believe is our Dwemer ruin. The door is wide open, and I don't think we're going to be closing it anytime soon without some major repairs. But this Nordic barrow that's a little closer has beachfront access, meaning it is great to build a boat to. So we can clear one, we can clear the other. We originally wanted to see the dwarf, and I point them both out.
Yeah, they can see them once they're pointed out.
And
Yeah.
so
Okay.
do we still want to double down on the dwarven ruins, even though it looks like it might be a little colder and a little further? And do you think it's worth a little bit of...
You note a few things with your perception. The Dwemer ruin is way harder to access. You'd need to probably either climb down a glacier or by sea. Once set up, you could easily take a boat up to it and then climb in with some rigging and ropes, and which would make it an incredibly secure smuggling location.
It's to start.
Pain to start. Second pro. Judging by the look that it has been a fairly recent thing that this has been unveiled, it is possible, risk reward, that it's full of dangerous automatons that are
But
fully
also has
functioning.
not been looted.
Highly likely to have at least this part of it escaped looting. So the risk reward on it is very high. Also, because of the fact that it's very difficult to reach, it'll mean it's harder for them to bring shipments of ebony over land to actually get to the smuggling operation. But conversely, much harder to root out the issue, find it, etc.
And
But
the other
versus-
one has a similar pros, like it's easier to access.
Barrow,
it's-
easier to access, likely has been visited or looted before, likely easier to find, easier to get to by road, easier to visit by sea. Pros and all of that, but then less risk reward sort of scenario.
So, I defer to you two. I think I know what Azahari's vote is. Do we want the risk for the greatest possible reward and a high chance of death and just pain in the ass getting there? Or do we want to take the easy path that's right there? I don't mind.
I think it is best that you choose for your people. You will
Sanctity
be...
of the dead? I'm fine with respecting your wishes.
Yes.
All
I
right.
say we continue on with the Dwemer ruin because
All right.
I want to
Very
impress.
cool.
I want to impress. I want to do like a
Because like it is a great source of what we're already smuggling. There's plenty of pros. We just gotta hope
Yes.
that there's like somehow not like 20 dwarven centurions in the front going like, "G'day, mate."
Well,
we'll be fine.
with that spice, I kind of want to prepare an entire Dwemer ruin mapped out and everything. So that means, because I've invented this Dwemer ruin, we'll see you next time for some
okay.
Skyrim. I think we'll
Really
spend some
gonna
more
get
time
there,
here.
like just to the front door.
I think this is a fine spot to leave. It's going to be a bit of adventure in getting there because you're going to have to rig up some ropes or something, and like it's going to be. I think it's probably going to be a little bit more.
I picked alteration for a reason.
I think it's prone to lead to combat encounters or things like that.
Yeah,
Even
like,
just getting
rig
there.
up some ropes, levitate.
And Dave's a hungry boy. It's lunchtime. My
Yeah.
tummy's a rumbly,
Yeah.
and I want to
Oh,
have some
yeah.
food. So there you go. I guess we'll be staying on Solstheim for 1.5 or 2 episodes. I was originally thinking that we'd be we'd be
Yeah.
here and gone, but hey,
They never run to your
they
plans.
never run
You
to
should know
plans.
this.
That's great.
Yeah. I mean, plus it evens things out a bit.
So
Awesome.
I hope you liked us baiting and switching you into playing more Morrowind when it's actually totally not Skyrim.
Yeah.
But it will be.
Oops.
It is Skyrim. Solstheim's part of Skyrim too. Skyrim players will know Solstheim. It's just 200
Dark
years
Fox.
earlier.
Professor X,
Yell her truth.
AJ Macy.
Infinite Shadows.
Tickle Duck.
I just wanted to see if you guys would catch it. That's good. It's good work, everyone.
Thank you,
Nailed
everyone.
it.
All right, thanks for watching, all our friends and gangs. It's been fun.
Indeed.
We're gonna pick up Skyrim next time, and then I don't know. We're gonna do something different. I think we're gonna do something wildly different. Maybe we'll play D&D. I don't know.
Please.
We will see.
If you want it too much, it won't happen. Maybe we'll play Hunter instead.
What's Hunter?
The TV show Supernatural.
There's a TTRPG for that.
It's just the quickest way to explain what Hunter is. Imagine the TV show Supernatural, but without Deus Ex Machina by being the protagonist.
So the
But
only
that idea of the
acceptable way that
setting,
I would-
it's a horribly dark world. It's basically the real world, but all the things that people are terrified of in the corners of their imagination and their mind are all real.
Yeah, so it's like Pulp Cthulhu.
Kinda, I guess, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
But more modern.
vampires are real, werewolves are real, all that.
I love
So
it.
it's literally the TV show Supernatural. All that shit is real, and you are a human who has had their eyes open to that reality. It'd be pretty
I
fun.
would be down for that.
But
Yeah.
no, we're playing Skyrim.
Yes. I'm sort of down to like a werewolf attack because I think it'd be really interesting.
Well, I'm down to
Very
go
cool.
get some skooma. Skooma, Azahari? Shall we get some skooma? Yes, why eat when we can skooma?